The US dollar is crashing. Crashing, I tell you. We're going to go into chapter 3 of my new book, Relax and Retire, right here. We're going to talk about it. Unfortunately, when people think of inflation, they immediately assume it's the decline in the purchasing power of the US dollar. They'll look at a chart like this, and this is going to give us January 1913 to January 2013. The price of bacon went from 25 cents a pound to $4.40 a pound. The price of potatoes went from 1.6 cents a pound to 62 cents a pound. Coffee, 30 cents a pound to $5.90 a pound. And they'll say, this is proof the dollar is crashing. That's incorrect. The problem is the inflationary scaremongers overlook is two critical things. First, while it's true that the price of potatoes has gone up from an average of 4.7% a year over the last 100 years, check this out from Carrie Meyer's book, Day on the Family Farm. One of my favorite books of all time. Carrie Meyer was a professor of economics, one of my professors. Love this book. She even has a sign right there. Hey, Josh, right there. Because Carrie crushes. You can see it's signed by Carrie Meyer. Speaking of which, if you want a signed copy of this book right here, send me 20 schmackaroonies. I got about 20 left back there. You can send me 20 via PayPal, personal check, whatever. Include your mailing address, and I'll get a signed copy out to you ASAP for sure. So, it's a good book. You want to have this. In fact, this has even a typo in here. Someone, I forgot, Karen told me this. Karen is she's an editor, and she goes, it looks like you double printed a little bit of the table of contents. So you never know. This might be a collector's item because there's an error in the printing, and I did not know that until Karen pointed it out. Interesting. So, I got them. I still like them. This book's still the same, but that was an interesting thing. So kudos to you, old Karen. So as a result of improved varieties, potato yields across the U.S. increased from 81 bushels per acre at the turn of the century, this is last century, to 95 bushels per acre a decade later. In 1910, Elmo, that's our hero, one of the heroes in the book, Days on the Family Farm, right here. Again, a great book. Elmo harvested 149 bushels from about an acre. All right, so a bushel of potatoes runs about 50 pounds. All right, so a bushel of potatoes is 50 pounds of potatoes. In 1910, an acre yielding 81 bushels produced about 44,000 pounds of potatoes. All right, again, so the beginning of 1900. All right, 1900, we're getting 81 bushels per acre, which was about 8,000 pounds of potatoes. All right, today an acre can produce 30,000 pounds of potatoes. So it went from 4,000 at the turn of the century to 1910, it went to 8,000. And now it was 25 to 30,000 pounds of potatoes an acre. That same acre can yield that much. It's insane, man. Isn't that crazy? Now, basic economics tells us that when supply increases, in this case potatoes, so the prices should go down. But this don't happen. That happens, prices go down when supply increases, but when demand increases more. So in this case, the reason the price of potatoes has gone up, even though supply has gone through the roof, is because the demand went through the roof more than the supply did. Why has demand gone up so much? Well, population increase is one reason. All right, we got a lot more people in the U.S. than we did 100 years ago. But the second reason is that Americans have more money which to buy potatoes. Just look around. You can see Americans are not lacking for things to eat. We are a fat society. In the early 1900s, however, only the wealthy would be fat. What is happening now is that while the price of goods has increased, our ability to buy those goods has increased even more. Here's from the 1943 New York Times. Family income at $1,231. That was the median figure in 1939, the Census Bureau said. In 1939, the median family income was $1,231. Median income was, want to guess what the median family income is now? As of 2021, the Federal Reserve reports it's $70,000, an increase of 5.06%. So while the price of potatoes has gone up by 4.1%, the median family income has gone up by more than that. And that's a much higher increase than the all items inflation rate is calculated, the BLS, which is 3.69. The median family income grew by 5.06. The all items inflation was 3.69. The second thing the inflation fearmongers miss is that we had few cars, few durable goods, limited electricity in 1913. Yes, the purchasing power of a dollar bill has declined when it comes to buying items that existed then, but how much would it cost to buy a kilowatt hour of electricity? Price didn't matter because you had no electricity back then. To do a true comparison of inflation, you have to measure the price of a kilowatt hour of electricity or the price of a microwave, cell phone, television, dishwasher, refrigerator, etc., relative to what you pay today. Oh, those things didn't exist back then? Then how can you say the dollar is crashing if many of the things you use today, this computer right now, it didn't exist in 1910? How can you say the dollar is crashing if many of the items you use today weren't even in existence back then? How is this computer being powered? With electricity. No one had electricity back in 1900. No one did. I mean, Edison, I grant you, but still, the vast majority of people. Thus, how can you say the price of the dollar is crashing when we have stuff we did not even have back then? In 1913, all the money in the world would not be enough to buy a refrigerator, central air conditioning, a television, and a cell phone. Yet a regular Joe today has all those things, even while the price of potatoes has increased 4% a year since 1913. All right, we're going to the next one. All right, so we're going to go to the next chapter, which is deflation is here. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, dude. So if you want the book, let me know. If these videos help, buy me a cup of coffee. It's in the doobie-doo. Just buy the book, dude. I'm freaking fundraising off you 100%. If these books, these stuff is helpful, you want to participate and say, Josh, I really appreciate what you're doing. Buy me a cup of coffee, $5. Decaf. You want to copy this? $20. You want a freaking book you can buy yourself? I can't remember. It's not $4.99 for Kindle. I think $9.99 for the hard copy. All right, deflation is here. Check it out.